get myself ready for it again. Give it a minute. Let people have a chance to find this again. No. The goats. That's what it was. It wasn't even the dogs making the racket. Old rooster's pretty loud. At least he's not right next to the phone again. Just giving it some time since I had to reboot this live for people to jump on. I ain't got a whole lot longer to be on anyway. A little bit. I'm glad they're headed that direction. You're here? All right, cool. I had to shut that live down because when I come out and tried to go to the swing over there, it didn't have no signal. So I had to get closer to the Wi-Fi. By the time I did that, it all messed up and I couldn't see anybody's comments. And I like to at least have the opportunity to see the comments just in case somebody has questions and needs help with maybe something out of the Bible that I might be able to help with. Then maybe I can do so, or just us talking in general. I like at least being able to respond. Excuse me. Waiting to see if anybody else shows up on here. The goat, so far, you're the only one that's made it back. We shall see how that plays out. Hopefully the others get to jump back on here. Figure I come out, it's a nice morning. You get the background of the woods, songbirds, rooster. There you go. Rooster's trying to run down this hen, trying to get her to go back the other direction, and she didn't have a care in the world what he wanted. Is that how women are? Going to be getting into Acts chapter 23 here. I'll give it a couple more minutes and maybe some of the other ones will be on here. Jesse, good morning. Well, as far as borrowing $4, I don't know how I could help you. I don't do anything online money-wise. I don't buy nothing online. I don't get into no kind of internet. I don't get into any internet money sharing. You got chickens too? Well, good deal. Yeah, Ozwood, you found me again. Pretty cool. Send it with an envelope. Well, now that is something I could do. But I don't have your address, and I wouldn't want you to put it up on here because that could bring about some danger, so I wouldn't recommend that. $4 or male deer. There you go. All right. Acts chapter 23. Now that I'm getting some of y'all back on here, I will get back into my read. Now the rooster's back over here, awfully close. Hopefully you can hear me over the rooster. Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin and said, "My brothers, I have fulfilled my duty to God in all good conscience to this day." At this, the high priest Ananias ordered those standing near Paul to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, "God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. You sit there to judge me according to the law, yet you yourself violate the law by commanding that I be struck." Those who were standing near Paul said, "You dare to insult God's high priest?" Paul replied, "Brothers, I did not realize that he was the high priest. For it is written, 'Do not speak evil about the ruler of your people.'" Then Paul, knowing that some of them were Sadducees and the others Pharisees, called out in the Sanhedrin, "My brothers, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. I stand on trial because of my hope in the resurrection of the dead." When he said this, a dispute broke out between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the assembly was divided. The Sadducees say there is no resurrection, and that there are neither angels nor spirits. But the Pharisees acknowledge them all. There was a great uproar, and some of the teachers of the law, who were Pharisees, stood up and argued vigorously. We find nothing wrong with this man," they said. "What if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him?" The dispute became so violent that the commander was afraid Paul would be torn to pieces by them. He ordered the troops to go down and take him away from them by force and bring him into the barracks. The following night the Lord stood near Paul and said, "Take courage. As you have testified about me in Jerusalem, so you must also testify in Rome." The next morning, the Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves with an oath not to eat or drink anything until they have killed Paul. More than 40 men were involved in this plot. They went to the chief priest and the elders and said, "We have taken a solemn oath not to eat anything until we have killed Paul." I'm going to pause there for a minute. Where are they located that need money? Well, right there, Asa Wood, right there in Sydney, Australia. I don't know that would be any kind of a good idea to put somebody's address on there. I certainly don't want them to be in danger. Laughing Goat, my favorite quote is, "Never stop being a good person because of bad people." Love you, bro. I hope you have a really good day. Well, thank you, Laughing Goat. I appreciate it. The rooster has crowed 3 times. Yeah. Yeah. Similar to the Paul or the Peter account, right? Except for I'm not trying to deny Jesus. But yeah, he's a loud rooster. All right, back into the read. Verse 15 in chapter 23 in the book of Acts. "Now then, you and the Sanhedrin petition the commander to bring him before you on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about his case. We are ready to kill him before he gets here." But when the son of Paul's sister heard of this plot, he went into the barracks and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions and said, "Take this young man to the commander. He has something to tell him." So he took him to the commander. The centurion said, "Paul, the prisoner, sent for me and asked me to bring this young man to you, because he has something to tell you." The commander took the young man by the hand, drew him aside, and asked, "What is it you want to tell me?" The commander took the young man by the hand. He said, "The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul before the Sanhedrin tomorrow on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about him. Don't give in to them, because more than 40 of them are waiting in ambush for him. They have taken an oath not to eat or drink until they have killed him. They are ready now, waiting for you to consent their request." The commander dismissed the young man and cautioned him, "Don't tell anyone that you have reported this to me." Then he called 2 of his centurions and ordered them, "Get ready a detachment of 200 soldiers, 70 horsemen, and 200 spearmen to go to Caesarea at 9 tonight. Provide mounts for Paul so that he may be taken safely to Governor Felix." He wrote a letter as follows: "Claudius Lysias, to His Excellency, Governor Felix. Greetings. This man was seized by the Jews, and they were about to kill him. But I came with my troops and rescued him, for I had learned that he was a Roman citizen. I wanted to know why they were accusing him, so I brought him to the Sanhedrin. I found that the accusation had to do with questions about their law, but there was no charge against him that deserved death or imprisonment. When I was informed of a plot to be carried out against the man, I sent him to you at once. I ordered his accusers to present to you their case against him. So the soldiers, carrying out their orders, took Paul with them during the night and brought him as far as Antipatris. I'm trying with some of these names, y'all. Antipatris. The next day, they let the cavalry go on with them, while they returned to the barracks. When the cavalry arrived in Caesarea, they delivered the letter to governor, and Paul was handed over to him. The governor read the letter and asked what province he was from. Learning that he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will hear your case when your accusers get here." Then he ordered that Paul be kept under guard in Herod's palace. All right. So, there Paul being taken to Felix, going on trial before him. In prison ministry, I'm asked if you can be forgiven for killing. And I tell them about Paul, and David's 600 men killing whole towns. Yep, that's good. Let me grab this, y'all. The Sanhedrin were conspiring against Paul. Their hate was so fervent. Yep. They had a lot of hate, that's for sure, y'all. There's the birdhouse up there on the hill. I just wanted to come out, get outside. Gives you a better background. Y'all might be able to hear the songbirds, I don't know. I'm going to pull this ice chest over and use it as a footstool. Yep. Just giving you a little different scenery this morning. Let's see. Larry Wolf, good morning. Well, I don't support that pride stuff by no means, but I'm glad that you jumped on here. We're talking about God's Word, trying to bring people to Jesus, and you may be one that like to come to at least research the evidence. Check it out, or listen here on this channel. You might find it interesting. I don't know. Jesus suffered for all of us, but most people won't even jump on board. They don't think it worthwhile to give it a chance. I enjoy watching you clean fish with your new knife. Well, thank you, Alsawood. It is, it's taken some getting used to. I'm old school. I've always done it with just a regular fillet knife, but we are catching quite a few fish these days, and it has become such a lengthy process doing it the old school way and taking so long. Last year, I couldn't tell you how long it took me multiple times cleaning fish, and I finally said, you know what, I may have to give this new electric fillet knife stuff a try just to cut down on time. And I'll tell you, it's probably about 3 to 4 times faster than doing it with a regular knife. So it has greatly saved a whole lot of time. Now I do make a few mistakes here and there and lose a little bit of meat, but I'm trying. I'm getting better with it. Bayou Scobar, good morning. By 3. Larry Wolf, you take it easy. Glad to have anybody jump on here and at least check it out. Just trying to wrap my head around what I'm getting ready to do. I know I may have a guy coming over this morning. We will see. He's wanting to come over and go through a little Bible study. He wants to be baptized, but he's not sure about the whole gig. He so far has not showed interest in showing up at, well, he was supposed to show up a few times at the church building. He still has not. He may get to that point one of these days, which he don't even have to show up at the church building I go to. It is close for him, but he don't have to go to the same one. I'll have to get one, John. I'm old school too. Yeah. Hey, I tell you, I really had to press against my natural way of thinking to get one of these electric fillet knives. And, you know, Heather got it for me for my birthday, so hey, I'm rolling with it. I'm trying to get used to it. It is way faster. I didn't think I'd ever use one, but like I said, we're catching so many fish these days. The Lord's blessing us well, so I wanted to at least do something to cut down on the time. No, I'm not hunting right now. I'm just sitting here in my driveway. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Got my woods behind me in the background. There's my birdhouse up there. There's some sparrows that has taken at least one of the holes in it and using it. I'm jealous of your beard. I'm 74 and have nothing but scuff. Well, hey, that's just fine, though. You are who you are. Jake, good morning. I'm not hunting anything right now. I'm just hanging out here at the house. I'm outside, sitting in my driveway. That's all. I have a request. 1 Samuel 17:37. Well, let me grab it here. Let me set the phone back down. Let me try to get this set up. This is going to be a little bit of a chore here. Hopefully it don't fall. It may fall. 1 Samuel 17:37. All right, let's. All right, here we go. 17:37. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of the Philistine. Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with you." All right, there you go. There you go. Not hunting. If he was, he wouldn't be talking live like he is. Yeah. Well, I'd be a little too loud for letting something come in here. Yeah, I like the nature. It is pretty nice. Just ask Papa, yeah, and he'll send the game to your driveway. There you go. Yep. It's funny you say that. Back during early teal and wood duck season, after I got home from a hunt that day, I had a teal in the truck, or a wood duck in the truck. I pulled in the driveway, and it was dove season, and there was 2 doves right at the edge of my driveway. I jumped out of the truck and shot them. So, hey, he did deliver directly in my driveway. And then we had dove and duck for supper. So it worked out pretty good. Watching this rooster, he found something looked like it was sticky. He was trying to eat off the ground. It was this big wad of something. Well, I was just fixing to ask if y'all can even hear the songbirds in the background, and then that rooster went off. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I hear something up that way in the trees. Sounds like a squirrel jumping around or something. Yeah, it worked out pretty good as it would. Dove and rice is such a delicacy. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, one dove doesn't have a whole lot of meat, but it's a good solid biter too. I mean, that's why you can get such a limit on doves. They're fairly quick and easy to clean. And you get multiple pieces of breast, you've got a good meal. A lot of people would never imagine you could eat them. Edinburgh Empire. Yes, very clearly. Good morning. The 6-pack American. There's your sister in the backwoods. Well, that is not true, but glad to have you on here. What do you suggest about that sound? Which sound, the rooster or the songbirds? The rooster's pretty loud because he's close. He's got one of his hens hanging out. The other hen's down the way over there. The birds, yeah. Yes, praise be to the Lord, for sure. Show you the chickens. I don't know how well you could see them. Crickets and birds and that rooster. We know it's morning, yeah. You don't have to keep trying to wake us up, dude. We're right here. Actually go all day long? Yeah. Yep. I enjoy listening to them, especially bright and early in the morning like this. Well, it ain't very bright, but it's still morning. It's a little cloudy. Not much. It's not supposed to rain at all today, but I actually just, it's ever so lightly sprinkling. And it's just like every once in a while I'm feeling just a little tiny drop. There was one on my arm. It's just one hazy cloud up there. But hey, it'll be all right. A bear was messing with my chickens, and a car hit it in our road, so I dragged it home, and game warden wrote me out a permanent after the fact. Yeah. That rooster is right at my feet. Yeah. Hey, at least you did the right thing and got a permit for it, because you could easily get in trouble for that. I'm looking at the other rooster. Well, I can't hardly see him, but he's down the driveway a ways down there. He's not making a sound. He did early this morning, but he's already done crowing. I look like a wise Viking. Well, I definitely get quite a few Viking comments. Good morning to you. Excuse me. Just been on here reading and talking about God's Word this morning. I had to restart the live just a little bit ago. I lost signal trying to get over here to the swing. The Wi-Fi didn't reach, and this phone is broken, so the regular signal ain't working on it right now. Heard a blue jay, yeah. I've been sitting here watching the blue jays go back and forth in these other trees. Gave me grace with the game warden. Yeah, that's right. And that's a good thing. And you had the blessing of the meat, right? Because I know a lot of people like eating bear. Cool catto. Well, are you Viking? See, there's another one. Mr. M. Joker. 2 Viking comments right in a row. Good morning to y'all, though. I'm glad y'all got a chance to jump on here, visit a little bit. We're just trying to get the Word of God out and just preach Jesus. Try to get people to understand our soul and our spirit does not want to give up life. It just doesn't. It wants to never end. We have that inner drive always to just want to keep on going. Even if our thoughts, sometimes people get into the life situation where they think about suicide and things like that and want to end their life. But that's contrary to our soul, and our spirit really wants to thrive. No matter how depressed in the mind we get. So we're just trying to get people to understand you can live forever. It's only through Jesus, and Too many people just aren't interested. It's not appealing to them. We just got to try to make our cases. Does Jesus rock with the transgenders? No. He wants the transgenders to repent from their ways, which means turn away from that and go the other direction and leave the life of that. And as Christians, we love them. We want them to turn away from doing those things as well and just come into the family of believers, do good, love each other, get back to our natural way that we're supposed to be. You don't see any of these other animals out here, the raccoons, possums, or anything, doing the gay and transgender stuff because it's not natural. Only our human minds have just perverted what's real, and it sucks. And a lot of people get emotionally bent out of shape about that topic, but it's just the truth. Definitely have to take care of our mental health. Yep, that's right. Peace and sound mind. That is a hard one to come by. We have to work to achieve that. And we do that. The Bible does that perfectly, if one will allow it to. Regain your strength in the Lord. That is right. Some bugs be changing gender. Well, I don't know about the bugs, but I know as far as humans, we ought not to be doing that. Too many people are prideful or full of themselves. All we can do is pray for them because God said it's free will, allows them to choose. Yeah, and that's right. It is their free will. They want to go on being transgender. They can do that. And then their soul and their spirit that is going to live with their new imperishable body in eternity of suffering. It's just torment. You'll be separated from God, and there's nothing good with it. I'm a believer. That's awesome, the goat. That is awesome. I've got to watch this one rooster real close because he will flog me. He just went after the other rooster. They definitely have the dominance figured out there. I'm prideful of myself. Cloudburst? Well, we can, now, as far as how God would have us to be, is to not be prideful. We can be happy about things, and we can do things in a pleasing fashion, but we ought to keep a... He's right behind me, about 7 feet. But we've got to learn how to be humble with things and not let pride get in there and mess things up and make make things just a little muddy in our world. If we stay humble and know and understand that mistakes can still happen, bad situations can come about. We've just got to be ready to endure them and keep moving forward. It's so true. We can't be prideful and be humble. There you go. At the same time. Huh? What is it? Okay. I'm on live. All right. She let me know she put one of the other dogs outside in the fence. I'll have to let him in here in a little while. But yeah, we've just got to be able to be humble. We can be pleased with things that we do, but not let it get to our heads and be conceited in any fashion. Being pleased with it and continuing to do good, that's the point, right? Love each other. Love God most of all. We all are a cloud, but God is much greater than us. Yep, that's right. That's what, I know I may not do this too many times coming out here because that rooster is probably annoying some of y'all, which I'm about to jump off of here. This one hen, she's over here. I thought she was fixing to jump up on my lap. I'm going to have to close my Bible just in case she does. Here. Well, she done got out of view. Well, there he is. There, he's on this side of me now. All right. Submit yourself to the Lord. Yep, we are the bride of Christ. Marriage is a type of Yeshua and his congregation. We're looking at more sky than you. Well, that might be a good thing. I can see me on here and I have a mirror. I know how rough it is. So they say grass doesn't get wet at night, but it do. That's right, it do. But actually, this morning when I just checked the grass and everything else, it was a dry night. I don't know that there was any dew overnight this time. All right, y'all. I'm fixing to jump off of here. I know. Oh, there's the other rooster starting to crow again now. He was crowing earlier when I was inside. I can hear them both going back and forth. But it's been good chatting with y'all. I'm going to get off here and at least get y'all away from that rooster crowing so loud right next to us. And no, the goat. Well, I got to get on with my day. I got to get a hold of this guy. He said something about possibly coming over pretty early this morning, so I might get him over here for a Bible study within the hour. We will see. I've got a lot of stuff to do this week. I've got to go bid a couple jobs, and I'm waiting to hear back on a couple other ones I've already got bids on, and we shall see. That birdhouse doesn't have See Rock City on it, does it? Not that I know of. It was here when I can't hear myself think when he's crowing that close. It was here when I bought the place. It doesn't look like any writings on it, but it may have wore off before I even seen it. I imagine it's from Tractor Supply. It looks like one that they got in the box at Tractor Supply, but I don't really know. Do you know about honeydew? What, honeydew lists? If you're married, you do, yeah. Yep. Well, that's what Heather was opening the door to let me know. She had a rough time. She's been having a rough past couple nights getting to sleep very soon. She lays there and lays there and lays there. So she let me know she put the dog outside so that way she can go back and lay down for a while so I can get the dog in here shortly. So there's my first honeydew for the day. I do concrete work through the week when I have jobs. It's not my daily bread and butter. I do maintenance at a building on weekends, but I do concrete work. I've got a couple jobs to go bid. Actually, I think I've got 3 jobs to bid this week to go look at. So maybe we'll try, or maybe we'll get into some work and maybe catch up on some things around here once I get some jobs finished and get a little bit of cash. Maybe get some things we need around here done up. Yep, concrete man. That's right. All right, y'all. I'm glad we got to do some Bible reading. Hopefully, we may have appealed to somebody that's not yet a follower of Jesus. I hope y'all get out there and preach the gospel. Hope you find somebody to at least talk to, invite them to the church building that you go to or something. Maybe, just to help offer a Bible study to them, try to bring them into the family. You ladies, get out there and find these young women and try to get them fired up about Jesus. All right, y'all. God bless you. Yeah, you too. I thank all of you for being on. I'm grateful for it. God bless y'all and take care until next time.